Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Adam and this is Adam Sews. This is Fridaysews. So today we are joined with Kyla, who seems to be more interested in seeing what's going outside the window than what I've got to say. So this week I've not been that productive on the sewing front. I've made a few things but not got anywhere near as much done as I wanted to, with work being so busy. I managed to burn my tailor's ham, as you can see, which I was under the illusion that it being something that you use for heat pressing, that it would be heat proof both sides, but I've later found out that one side is for pressing on cool setting and the other side is for pressing on hot setting. I just assumed they were both heat resistant, so I've nicely melted this side of it, which is slightly irritating because it was a present. But because of that, and because of wanting one that's heat resistant on both sides, I did take the liberty of making my own tailor's ham, which is made from, I think this is some Dashwood cotton remnant that I had left over. It's incredibly heavy and very, very stiff, which is good. It is filled with 1,000,001 pieces of scrap fabric, which I tried to make sure they were all cotton or cotton lycra so that they can withstand the heat of a tailor's ham, seeing as though I like to melt them. So this one I made my own pattern for. It's quite big compared to what it probably needed to be. I think I will make another one at some point that's a little bit narrower just to get inside the shoulders of smaller seams, although you can manipulate it quite a bit, so I think it'll probably be all right. The second thing I made was I downloaded the Mother's Grim Snarf pattern, which initially I wanted to just test out how the pattern goes together. So I made this one out of a piece of French terry that I had left over, and I've lined the inside of it with the some mint apple coloured sweatshirt fabric that I had, but I used the wrong side for the right side so it's nice and soft and fluffy, and then I've just top stitched all the way around it with a sort of curved zigzag. It's almost like a curved triple stitch, so it still has stretch in it because of the sweatshirt and the French terry both have a four-way stretch. It's a nice scarf. It goes on, overlaps, comes back round, and then it has these loops that you feed the other end through. So you loop those through that side, and then you sort of tighten it up, and then just tuck that one under. So it's a really nice pattern. As I say, it's from Mother's Grim. I'll put the link in the description box below. This was some remnants that I had that weren't really big enough to do anything else with, so I just thought I'd use these as a test fit. And it fits really nicely. It's nice and warm. I will be making it again though, but I'm going to use a cuddle fleece on the inside lining, just so that it's a bit thicker and it has a bit more sort of structure to it, because this is quite sort of floppy around the edges and it needs to be a bit firmer to keep it up more. So that is the Mother's Grim Snarf pattern. The other thing that I made this week is a new backpack for Luna, our Boston Terrier. So she comes to work with us every day, and her last backpack that she's had for a year now. I made it when she was a puppy, when we first got her. So it's just a very, very simple drawstring. It's got a toggle on it and it's got some cotton twill tape, and then it's just basically like a little rucksack, and I've put an extended strap on it. This is made from an offcut of some soft shell fabric that I had, so the outside is waterproof and the inside is fleece, but it gives it quite a good structure and it's quite strong. So that goes to work with us every day, and it contains her lead, her harness, a spare toy, her bags for picking up after her, some baby wipes, and her little Tupperware full of her little organic snacks that she takes with her. Oh, and there's always a backup yaka in there as well for her, or yaka, whichever you prefer to pronounce. So as I say, I just put a big long strap on it so it can just go straight over and just be carried from work to the car. And the fact that it's waterproof is quite good as well, because once it's closed, if it's raining when you're trying to get it in the car, everything inside doesn't get wet. So I have started this week on doing some pattern organising. I'm not anywhere near as extensive on patterns as Jen from Jen's Sewing Room. I did offload some to her a little while ago from a vintage pattern haul that I managed to pick up a whole box full of patterns. So I am halfway through sorting through those and trying to put them in the right order of things that I'm actually going to make out of them, and ones that I will make probably somewhere in the near future, but not right this minute. The other thing that I did this week, at the weekend just gone, we popped into the town centre and I went into the haberdashery shop that's in there, and I managed to pick up myself a loop turner, because I've been after one of these for ages, and previously I've been using a kebab stick with a piece of string and a really old rusty safety pin, which is probably not the best idea, but it has worked up until now. So I now have an actual loop turner, which will come in really handy. So while I was in the shop getting the loop turner, I also managed to come across some pins, which are also made by Prim. These are the Easy Grass pins by Prim. These are something that I thought were quite expensive, as pins are pins, but these ones I normally tend to end up buying the standard plastic headed pins in whichever colour they've got available. The last ones that I had were pink. I seem to blunt pins really quickly, so these Easy Grass pins are a little bit more expensive than the normal ones, but they've got, I don't know if you're about to see this, they've got like a funny little head on them, which make them really, really easy to grip hold of, which sounds ridiculous, but they seem to go through fabric really easily and they stay in really nicely. So I'm quite impressed with those. So I will not be putting those through A4 PDF pattern printouts, which blunt them. So I will be using my trusty old ones for pinning PDF patterns to fabric that I can't fit on my cutting board. And these ones will be used purely for fabric. So I managed to end up having a huge amount of parcels turn up this week. I bought some stuff from a D-stash on a D-stash group. I managed to get 3 yards of this weather vane cotton, which is Timeless Treasures Fabrics, it's called. I think it's a vintage cotton. It's really, really nice cotton. It's a quilter's weight cotton, but I think it will make quite nice shirts, or possibly another one of the violet top from Seamwork Patterns, I believe, that I made last week, which I still haven't got round to putting the buttons on, and it's still here with pins in it holding it close so it doesn't fall off the hanger. But I think now that I've made one of those, I think I might make a few more, and I think this will look quite nice with one of in the violet top pattern. So that was off the D-stash. I also had a really, really nice surprise parcel turn up from a friend of mine called Maria that sent me this really, really nice suiting weight fabric. It is, I believe it is some sort of viscose cotton or linen blend. I think there's about 5 meters of it, and it is really, really nice and soft. So I think I'm going to try and make a pair of tailored trousers from that one. I also got a delivery from Fabrics by Penny community Facebook group. This is a Little Johnny cotton lycra, and it has penguins all over it, and I absolutely love it. I think it's part of the Little Johnny Christmas launch, but I don't see it specifically being just for Christmas with the penguins. So I'm going to make myself a Sinclair t-shirt out of that directly after filming this. The other one I got as well is, I don't think this is a Little Johnny, I think this is a different brand. I'm not sure who makes this one, but it is a 200 GSM, I think it's 220 GSM cotton Lycra, so it's 95% cotton, 5% Lycra or spandex, whichever brand it goes by, and it has gingerbread houses on it. And again, I think that's going to be fab for Christmas pyjamas for my nephews. I might make my mum some pyjama bottoms out of it for her Christmas present as well. The other thing that I've been doing this week, so one of the other things that I've been doing this week is this huge pile behind me, which is fabric that I have pulled out of my cutting table, which I'll insert a picture of, which I took inspiration from Jen from today in Jen's sewing room. She made hers from some Kallax units. The Kallax units that I looked at over here in the UK are too big for the table that I wanted it to be. So I ended up buying some units still from Ikea, but they're not called Kallax, they're called something else, which I will find the link for those and I'll pop it in the description box if anyone's after some Kallax units. They're exactly the same thing. They're about 2/3 the price of Kallax, and they are a 4x2 setup rather than a 3x3 or a 3x4, I think it is. I think Jen made hers from 3x3s, but again, I don't think hers were Kallax. I think she said she got hers off Amazon. I will link her video in the cards to her sewing room, which I think has got the link in it for those units. So besides that, I have been really trying to get my head around organising some bits and bobs. So as I say, I have a huge pile of fabric here which I need to destash or donate. I have got some pieces on top there which I've just thrown on because there's a pile of fabric and I had some bits that I was using this week for different things and they ended up on top of there, so I need to go back through it now and take out the stuff that shouldn't be on there and then get rid of the stuff that is there that I'm not going to use for any reason. So besides that, not a lot has happened this week. I have stuck together quite a few PDF patterns that I printed out on the Sunday evening, last Sunday. I printed out about 5 different patterns. One of them was for some t-shirts for my nephews to make their pyjamas from and some jogging bottoms because I'm going to make them. I did also make a Theodore Raglan sweatshirt, which is a bobbins and buttons pattern out of a Paw Patrol fabric, which I still need to do the cover hem on the neck and on the lower band just to keep those seams flat on the inside because they kind of stick out a little bit at the moment. This is a French terry which I managed to get from a D-stash, and the ribbon is from Fabrics by Penny community group. It's an Okio Tech ribbon and it is such good quality, which I have a huge stash of different colours of that. But of course, when I wanted dark blue, I didn't have enough of it. So besides that, not really much in the way of sewing this week. I have been eyeing up Christine Sews a Lot's tutorial for her bowl covers, which she said are a great Christmas present. So I will be making a couple of those. The other thing as well that I want to have a go at soon is Michelle's ice dye from Michelle Sews Again. I am obsessed with Michelle's tie-dyes and reverse tie-dyes and her ice dyes. I think they're amazing. As I've said to Michelle herself, I do believe that she is the queen of tie-dye and reverse tie-dye and ice dyeing, and I have unofficially crowned her. So I will link her ice dye video in the cards as well. Click and go and have a look at that. The fabrics that she makes are absolutely incredible from the ice dye. It's something I'm yet to do. I'm trying to brave making the mess that comes with it, but I have been assured that it is containable. So again, thanks everyone for watching and for liking and subscribing. I have reached over 500 subscribers this week, so I would just like to say a massive thanks to everyone that has subscribed, everyone that's commented as well. It's such a nice feeling having the community feel to it, and it makes it worthwhile doing these videos with all the good feedback I've been getting from everyone, so I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to pop it in the comments below. I do respond to all of my comments as quickly as I possibly can. And I think that is it for this week. So I am going to go and cut out some t-shirts now because I want some new t-shirts for this weekend. And I will look forward to seeing you all again next week.